Good morning. Hey, it's Monday.
Yep, it is.
Martin's like, you son of a bitch. Good morning. Welcome to the Monday morning crew. This is, I guess, all that's going to be here. I don't know if anybody else is showing up today. We're going to be talking about SEAL Team Season 6, Episode 8. As I predicted, they pulled a Chris Kyle. I saw where they were going. A lot of people did. Those of us who know how to write and read. They were quite predictable, in my opinion.
Yeah, just...
Whenever everything starts to go good for a character, that means we're coming to something bad.
Tragedy.
The way they did it, though, really made me angry.
Well, yeah, when we get to it...
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got angry about what they did on the show. I thought, look, my problem isn't what you did, it's how you did it.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Did you make any notes? No, I'm going through puberty.
Are you serious?
Well, I didn't know if you did. I just know you wrote me, can't sleep, going to drink coffee.
That means you haven't listened to anything I said in a pre-show.
What?
Okay, good to know.
No, I'm busy. I was doing things. I didn't hear half of what you guys talked about.
I know.
Anima made notes of her notes. That's how good
notes
she
of her notes. Is that sort of like a hat on a hat?
Fuck you, John.
And if she texts with an accent, I'm pretty sure her notes has an accent too.
Shut up, guy with an accent.
I want to say good morning to not just the panel, but I want to say good morning to D. Bud Martin. He was the first one to post. Penny, number 2 in the house. Dr. Dragon, Sox Bulletin, Bill Barkley from Scotland. He's up there reading a book. Those books up there in Scotland. Dragon Ruse is here. It's the House of Dragons. It's Military Monday. What the fuck? Yeah, I've already dropped the first F-bomb. Don't care. Alex Moore is here.
I think I beat you to it.
Let's see if Don's awake. That's a test to see if Don's awake.
Yeah, we need a third F-bomb, then he will show up.
You have a message, Gerry, from Sucks.
Message?
Oh,
what
Kevin O'Neill died.
No.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So many die these days. It really sucks.
What? Are you talking about Ryan O'Neill's brother?
No, Kevin O'Neill, the illustrator. From League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Martial Law.
Yeah, I never read those books.
Oh, okay.
Well, it sucks, man. Good artwork, though. How old was he?
69. Nice. Sorry.
Jeez. Died at 69. Not doing a 69, no, sadly. If I had a choice.
No, I think it was cancer.
Oh, man. Awful. Let's see who else has joined us here. What else is new? Fucking YouTube doesn't like military stuff. That's what this is. Because these are universal emojis, the helmets. You find them on every social media site, and it's on YouTube. When you comment, you can post those. But for some reason, they don't show up. Jerks.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anti-military, anti-soldier. Let me find it. Where's it at? There it is. I'll edit it. Bet you if I put like an emoji that looks like I'm flaming, They wouldn't have a problem. It'll show up.
No, Bill Barkley, not Martial Law the show, Martial Law the comic book. Back in I think it was the 80s. It might have been 90s.
That, so it shouldn't be doing that again. Did you add?
What happened?
There. It was still showing the helmets, and I had removed them. So this one goes out to Shinatsky.
Oh.
Kingsport Callis here. Glenn Fleming, good morning.
Alex Moore.
The word displaying, Martin, has a different meaning to me because of animals.
What? I didn't get it. What I was distracted.
Go look up cat displaying.
Yeah.
I've been a cat owner most of my life, and it's when they throw their tail up and want you to, they want you to look at their swollen glands, and they're making those noises. Wow!
Someone please mute Gerry.
It's like,
hey, people, I'm having an internet problem, so I may get disconnected regularly for today's show.
you?
Just so you know. Yeah.
Oh,
Just
okay.
So you know.
I'm running an old interview I did with Kevin O'Neill in the next issue of Comics Unlimited. It was due out. What I'd like is some suggestions to some Kevin O'Neill comics. If it's got anything to do with Alan Moore, I'm not going to read anything new from him.
Well, read Martial Law.
So Martial Law's not related to Alan Moore.
No, it's Pat's. What's the guy's name?
Oh, if
Pat
people aren't
something.
aware, I think Alan Moore is a complete cunt.
Oh, he is.
I cannot stand that guy. I told somebody, I said, if I was good enough and he hired me, I wouldn't work with him because he's an asshole to artists. He absolutely abuses every artist he's worked with.
He also hates the fans.
Yeah, he's the real cunt. He's just a cunt. Fuck that guy. And the horse he rode in on. So, anyway, so let's talk about this episode.
You want to put up the disclaimer before we start?
Yeah.
I don't have the disclaimer. Hold on. Jesus Christ.
Well, she's just
Let me go find it.
nag.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. There it is. I'm loading it. Warning, the discussion of the following video involves the views of a military veteran. Some subjects that we discuss here may be disturbing to others. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. Fuck off if you don't like military talk. There you go.
Okay.
I thought he said that very nicely. So, is Don here yet yelling at me?
I'm not seeing him in chat.
He's not shown up yet. Let's see. Alan Moore speaks very highly of you, Gerry. Shut up, Glenn.
Maybe Don is still trying to get to his computer from his bed because he can't
Look,
find
you
his
met
bag.
somebody, Glenn, that I looked up to. And his opinion would matter. I give a shit about Kirby.
Oh, yeah. That's
Let's
the king.
see. Alex Moore. He's been an artist for decades. Yeah, him and his polyamorous relationships and his weird freaking leftist politics, and his disdain for artists. They're not real creators, old man.
Not to mention he claims to be a wizard.
No, I like Zaslav. And learn to spell, bitch. Just said that to Bill Barkley.
Oh my God.
He misspelled Zaslav. No, I would never call him the C word. I like David Zaslav.
I wouldn't agree with him about a lot of things, but I love what he's doing.
Kevin drew Robusters. I've never heard of that one. With Pat Mills, he also drew Nemesis, ABC Warrior, Judge Dredd. Now, if you worked on Judge Dredd, I've probably seen his work.
Yeah, I forgot about Judge Dredd, but a lot of English artists worked on 80.
That's
80,
right.
2000,
They populated the
2000 AD.
offices there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have a great disdain for Alan Moore. And he thinks way too much of what he does when he basically took other people's ideas and reworked them. That's all he did. His whole career is made up of that shit. I'm going to take these guys' ideas, I'm going to shit all over it and make it mine.
Well,
and then I'm going to act like you're an asshole if you want to make a comic book movie about my comic.
Maybe an ass. He did make some very important works in.
Well, he had made essential books.
Yeah.
I mean, but those essential books were like Watchmen was from the I just forgot the name of the comics. Charlton Comics.
Yeah.
You know, where Peacemaker came from. And I just don't give two shits.
Yeah. More importantly, Blue Beetle.
I just don't give two shits for what, you know, I still own Watchmen. And what I love about Watchmen is how, I just forgot his name that drew it. His artwork was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And he also worked on Judge Dredd. I can spell bitch.
Brian Bendis. Brian Bendis is definitely the worst writer, without a doubt.
Yeah, Bendis. I don't like Jeff Johns. I don't give a shit what you, Keith, or anybody says. I don't like his writing. I don't think
I
he's
don't
a
like
good
Jeff
writer.
Johns either.
Thank you. I thought you did. Somebody was agreeing with Keith.
Keith was no, Jeff Johns is most of his comics are mediocre at best.
Yeah, they're mediocre. He's like, hey, I'm going to do this new thing and throw it in there, and that makes it really good. I'm like, no, all you did was this one thing, and you took all the other tropes and threw them in there, and you were just writing like anybody else. In fact, I don't think there's anything original about anything he did.
Yeah. Dave Gibbons drew Watchmen. That's from Glenn Fleming and
Dave
King's
Gibbons. Dave Gibbons. I've got his font. I use his font. I paid good money for all. It was like $200 for buying his entire font set, and every comic I've worked on, outside of the one IDW book, because I didn't letter that book, I will be lettering the new edition of Code Word Geronimo with the Dave Gibbons font. I love his lettering.
Yeah, I like.
Look, my understanding of the words dope and work don't fall into that category. I consider what he did seminal. His work was seminal, but I don't think he's that good a writer. I think that he took other properties and did something interesting with them, stole from Twilight Zone for his dead alien body ending. Just I mean,
yeah, that was.
It had. If he was a good writer, he would have actually did what they did in the movie.
Yeah, which was
because you actually have the threat in the story, and he wants to leave. You know, so everybody gets their wishes at the end of the fucking book. Oh, except for Rorschach, who has to die, but he still gets his wishes because he screws everything up because he sent that book, his diary. Yeah, thanks to Dave Gibbons.
Gerry, 1, check the private chat, and 2, Bill is trying to get us on the rails again.
Yeah, this is this is bizarre.
Are we in an alternate universe now? Is that what's going on?
That's weird. He's like, come on, guys, let's talk Seal to you. Like, is Bill broken?
Or who has replaced Bill Barkley?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I try to give everybody about 15 to 20 minutes to get here. It's what I do. It's like, we're not derailed. I'm just talking about other stuff until we hit that 20-minute mark.
It. He's trying to derail, so it's a double.
Mags has broken our back door.
Oh,
I paid for those fonts, And I letter. If you read my actual handwriting, Glenn, I letter like Dave Gibbons, and it was unintentional. And that's why I liked it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I can save myself a lot of work because I'm already drawing the fucking thing and writing it myself. So it's more than Alan Moore.
Hi, Max.
Well, Agitech Max, welcome back.
To the new one.
Good morning, Mags. How are you doing?
Just reaching.
So many better writers in comics than Alan Moore. There really are. I really consider Chuck Dixon the superior writer over Alan Moore. The problem with Alan Moore is he's niche. So everybody thinks, oh, he's niche, so that means he's really good. It's like, no, he's just niche. There's a difference.
Like Neil Gaiman. Everybody fawns
Neil
over Neil
Gaiman.
Gaiman.
Like, he's only good on certain things.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Sandman. His run of Sandman. I couldn't stand it. Oh, good morning to YouTube. But
Well, Bill has answered.
what's that?
It's the variant Bill from the Loki universe.
That just made me look at my Loki back there.
For really happening, or is it fake? Jacob, I haven't looked into it. I got to be honest. I've not given a shit about anything for a few weeks now. I have just not fucking cared because I'm so overworked, stressed that I just don't care. And I'm trying to get back to where I can care again. And I'm just not there. I mean, since they announced James Gunn, I just was like, yeah. People go, what does that mean? I went, I don't know. It means, this is what that means.
Bill, I'm going to see Wakanda Forever on Friday, so.
You got to pay me to go see that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it.
Not interested.
If I don't get some money in my account to see the film that has to say, here's for you to go see the film, I'm not going to watch it. Except for president. I would never get elected. I've got too much shit in my past. Nothing I'm ashamed of enough that I wouldn't talk about it, but it's stuff that would not allow me to get elected.
Oh yeah, I'm completely unelectable too.
Alex Moore. Oh yeah, I'm expecting our white friends to clear the entrance so I can see Wakanda Forever.
Where's the video for the breaching?
Backdoor clip.
As a professional in the field, I don't agree with that, Kingsport Cal. As a fan, I get it. You're a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm a pro, and I don't think that way or feel that way.
Hey, Six is here.
Hey, Six. Good morning.
Hi, Six.
Six. I know you're white. You should have bought that ticket for somebody else. Like Keith. It's his birthday this week, you know.
Tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I think it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Yep, it's tomorrow. Okay.
That's what they are posting all over Twitter.
Yeah. My general feeling on this, you know, I did it the other day. I actually edited this for Martine. But here it is. This is what I think.
Yeah. Sadly, that's
Six is just going to Google Namor. That's why Six is going.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get mad at me, Bill.
It was
I'm
really
watching
funny.
it in the cinema.
If people didn't know this, I kind of lost my shit on Saturday because the crew just were really getting under my skin, the panel. And I had to post this. This one's funny. Like asking people to wrap it up so I could read the names in the chat. They went on for like 20, 30 minutes and new people were joining. I couldn't say anything. And I'm like, come on, wrap it up. Oh, man.
I apologize because I'm sure that I helped in that.
Very little. Very little.
Yeah, because I never say anything, right?
I was targeting specifically 3 people.
Yeah.
And they know who they are. And I'm like, man, stop this shit. And I'll say this again. This is my show. I don't derail if I'm the host. I go in the direction I want to go. It's only derailed when panelists or chat does it. Bill Barkley. Yeah, Scottish wee bastard. But we've hit the 21-minute mark. Let's get into this. Again, military stuff. Fuck you if you don't like military discussion. Get out. Go. If you don't like military vets talking, away with you.
What?
I got to tell you, man. I've pulled from the chat for a lot of our panel over time. I like that because a lot of you guys. Zachariah 315 is here.
Yep.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I'm going to take you sincerely and say thank you, Six, because I think it is a valid point. It's like, there's segueing and there's going off on a tangent, but it's not derailed when you're the host.
Besides, this is ADD theater. They should expect it.
Exactly.
Joe in the house.
Oh, no, Joe. Nobody's messing with me, man. It's more me messing with the chat. Because I love these guys. King knows it. I love all these guys.
And we've got an awesome chat.
I have my opinion. And my opinion is, sometimes it's my personal opinion. Sometimes it's my professional opinion. And when I go with my professional opinion, on this show, it trumps whatever you think. Even in private discussion, I will tell people, I think I know a little more than you about this subject. But when it comes to personal love for something, I can't argue that. If you're a fan of something, you're a fan of something. I get it. And I've said this time and time again, some people got just shit taste. Doesn't make them a bad person, just means that they don't know quality over quantity. And a lot of people, not like shitty stuff too. There's a lot of stupid shit that I like. I introduced someone on this panel to some of the dumb shit that I like.
Yeah.
It was funny. She does enjoy most of it.
Most of it, yeah.
Wait till I have her watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Because I got a kick out of that film. It's so dumb.
It's funny though.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off at that movie.
6 is a root beer, not a regular beer.
Oh, what's that?
She was wondering if I'm drinking a root beer.
Oh, what is that?
Beer. It's
Frosty. Oh man, I haven't seen a Frosty in years. Like it's been over 2 decades since I've seen a Frosty root beer. Where'd you get that?
My local grocery store carries them.
Is it like a local store or is it a store that's a chain?
Actually, you've got them down close to you, Woods.
Okay, I'm going to look that up because
in the chat.
I have
Someone
not
is
seen.
going for groceries after the show.
I have not.
Look what.
Read it.
Bastard!
I was testing the waters to see if you were here, Don.
Come on, read it.
I told Keith, I said, I'm just going to get him out of my system before Wednesday. I got to tell you, a good sassafras root beer, man. And I got to tell you, I like Bark because they actually put caffeine in it. But A&W was a favorite of mine. Frosty was what, hon?
I don't even know what root beer is.
Oh, you don't? Oh, yeah.
No.
It's really an American thing.
Yeah.
It got started with the love of sassafras.
Hey,
You could
What?
get it on a stick of sassafras, and just you'd see people chewing on it. It's good. And then they
Wow.
decided, hey man, all these soda shops around, let's make one with sassafras in it. And the first was a soda shop out in the Old West, as I recall,
Yep.
that made the first root beer. And they called it root beer because it was dark, like a beer. And sudsy. It was really sudsy. God, I love root beer, man. It's the bomb diggity yo.
Yeah, but Frosty has real cane sugar in it. That's why I like it when I occasionally get one for a treat.
And where's your blood sugar now?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous, but
Yeah, get the fuck off the sugar. Splenda is where it's at.
I don't do this very often. That's why I said it's a treat.
Oh, it's a treat. Okay.
I was good all weekend.
I'll forgive you this one time.
Says the man who crunches on lollipops.
Shut up. That's only 3 to 5 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
In those,
Holy.
because I get those little dum lollipops. She can't stand, like, she's European. They don't like people that chew ice. And I crunch. It'll just
Oh
freak
no, that's
her out.
not a European thing. That's a me
I'll
thing.
start and I was like chomping on a carrot the other day. Are you chewing ice? And I'm like, no, I'm chewing a carrot. Jesus
Sounded like
Christ.
it. I'm sorry.
I worked IT for 15 years, dude. Yeah. Mountain Dew. We had 2 machines put in. I told you about this the other day, John. Had 2 soda machines put into our IT department. Every single soda was a form of Mountain Dew. So a lot of different ones. Well, the early ones, because they had that purple one. What was it called? The purple Mountain Dew.
Black.
Yeah, black. That was it. They had
black
that
powder,
one.
something
They
like
had
that.
another flavor.
Pitch black.
Yeah, pitch black, and then they had sugar-free and regular Mountain Dew. And we were, oh man, once I got to tell you, man, once Baja Blast came out, I was like craving it. Like because Baja Blast Zero is, wow, it is so citrusy. It's very yummy.
I had a fridge in my office that had nothing but Code Red Mountain Dew.
Do they have a Code Red Zero?
No, they have Diet Code Red. I
It's
haven't
just
seen them
not the
switch to
same.
Zero. Yeah, I know.
Because with the other one, they use like either stevia or they use Splenda, and it makes it closer to the original formula.
Yeah,
Like
I keep
Coke
looking
Zero.
out for. I keep looking out for a Zero version of that and a Zero version of Livewire.
So, like, you didn't show up. I was really disappointed you weren't there for Keith's birthday, because I was asking where you were, and then finally someone said, yeah, he got halfway here, realized he forgot his wallet, and had to go all the way back home. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, man, he's not going to be here. I was looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
I almost turned around and came back, but I was like,
I wish you had. But I get it. Gas is crazy.
yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, I'm pissed that the 2 birthdays we celebrated Scott's wife's birthday this week and Keith's birthday. And we went to the steakhouse. I forget the name of it. Right next door is the other place we went, Brick, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Local beer. And I'm like, I'm not going to drink it. It's going to be hoppy. I don't want hoppy beer. I don't care how dark they make it. But we get there. Both places suck for diet sodas. Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke. I'm like, you don't have Diet Dr. Pepper, which actually tastes good. No, you don't have that one? Of course, you got the shitty one. Outstanding. I'll take tea. Unsweetened. Thank you. Let's see. I missed this. What's going on? Sorry, gave me Walmart doesn't sell Frosty root beer. No, none of the Walmarts. I don't think Walmart carries much of anything. When I found out that they have sugar-free Chico sticks and that no major stores carry it, I'm like, you guys have failed society. You have failed society, because Chico sticks, if you've never had it, it's like Butterfinger, but without the chocolate, and instead baked coconut on the outside. It's amazing. It's basically a peanut butter toffee.
I'll check our
Right.
candy. We've got like a old timey candy store. I'll check here in town. I'll check Lolly's, and before I come down for Geekness and bring you some.
But I'll warn you, if you want to try it, do not eat more than 3 at a time. You will be shitting your brains out if you go over that, because it's made with maltitol syrup.
Oh well, yeah, that'll definitely clear out your
Maltitol
pipes.
it goes as a they use it for caramel. It's a replacement for caramel, but it's not. It's a laxative. And the funniest stories I ever read were on Amazon for the gummy bears, sugar-free gummy bears made with it.
Oh yeah,
And
that was hilarious.
And you don't know. This could be like, penthouse letters. Is this real? Is this real? Or is this some guy that got paid $25 a word to write a fucked up sex letter? And so there's this one over there that just kills me. Is this guy was on a flight. Oh, got to run. See you later, Mags. We love you. And he says he got a bag of those sugar-free gummies in customs, in the store there at the airport, and was eating them on the plane. And then he realized as they were about to land, he was getting like bubbly, percolating, and he was like squeezing his cheeks walking in, and then all of a sudden he got pulled aside for a full check, including cavity check, and he's English. He supposedly says, "Look, mate, I don't think you want to do that." And the guy ignored him because he was foreign, whether he understood what he said or not, and apparently stuck a finger and broke the dam, and it exploded all over him. One of the best freaking stories I've ever read. I just laughed my ass off. I was almost throwing up, laughing so hard.
Welcome, Jibus.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the other thing it'll do too. Some people, maltitol and maltitol syrup causes them to get bloated and gassy. And it's a nasty gassy. It's like it comes out smelling like guts. Just gross. So I always my limit is 3. I never eat more than 3 candy bars. Reese's does a sugar-free mini Reese's cups.
Yeah.
Do not eat more than 3. Don't. That's a warning. So, episode 8 begins.
It's called Aces and Eights and starts with a poker game.
And I told you Aces and Eights
Yep.
that's a dead man's hand.
Yeah.
That's the hand supposedly allegedly held by Hickok when he was shot in the back of the head by McCall, something McCall. I'm better with
Davey?
last names than I am with first names. Wild Bill
Davey?
Hickok. What?
I don't know.
What?
Trying to remember. Davey? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was Davey.
Whatever.
I think it was a Robert McCall. Just like my best friend, Robert Scott McCall. I think that was his name, Robert McCall. That's why I told Robert the first time I met him, I'm like, you got a shitty name.
Charming.
You're named after the guy that murdered. And he goes, I was named after my dad. And I said, I love your dad, so I'm not going to say he has a shitty name. His dad's awesome. I'm friends with him. It's funny. He'll post on my page more than he posts on his own son because we're politically aligned. Yeah, Wild Bill. So they named the show episode Aces and Eights. I immediately said, yep, this is the episode. I said it right when I saw the title of the episode. I'm like, they're going to kill him this episode.
Yeah, for sure. We've been talking about that he's going to die.
They've been building up to this. And the minute they introduce that guy, absolutely they were playing the Chris Kyle card.
Yeah.
Because that's how Chris Kyle died. And then somebody at the last minute goes, we set it up to be like Chris Kyle, but watch, we're going to pull the rug out from under you.
Yeah,
it's like, and then they do something worse. Because I'm like, at least that would be realistic if they did that.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it should have been an accidental shooting.
And what I have to say at this point, what also pisses me off is that the new show he does, because
not
he's
worth
leaving
it.
his show to do the new one. It's
not
so
worth
bad.
it. That show is garbage.
His acting is
He's
perfect.
the only part of
The
that
writing
show
sucks.
that's any good.
Yeah.
Well, him and the commander of the fire unit.
Yeah.
He's a
because
good
they're-
actor
they're
too. The
great
rest of
actors,
them
but-
look like they just came out of summer stock.
And the
Well,
I mean,
writing is
just
horrible.
terrible acting in that show, and
It's
drama
doing
is
well in the
worse.
ratings, so
What is it?
it's doing well in the ratings. So
Yeah. Once again, I point out a lot of people out there like stupid shit.
yep.
A lot of people.
Well, it is CBS, and their average viewer age is 79. So
Also, we know that CBS doesn't care.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, where's it at? I know it's here somewhere. Ah, fuck it. I'll play this one. CBS doesn't like you. They hate. Oh, here it is.
Yep.
It's a real. I mean, because the concept was really cool. You and I tuned in like, oh, this, and I liked Max Thurrow. He was really good
Yeah.
as Norman Bates' brother in Bates Motel. I like that show. I like him as an actor. I like
But
that
we couldn't.
he went onto the Navy SEAL diet and workout program. And he beefed up, man. And then
But
he's
that
like,
new show, we couldn't even finish.
I'm
the
going to
first
leave a
episode.
top-rated show to go take a chance on my own star vehicle. And I'm hoping in the end that this doesn't hurt his career, because I got a feeling that because I don't believe CBS when they say things are doing really well. I believe Nielsen ratings. We'll see how well it does by end of the season, if they even get to the end of the season, because that first episode had some of the clunkiest, dumbest drama.
We stopped halfway through. We didn't even finish it.
I mean, they were talking about things. It's like, why are we talking about this in the first episode? Isn't this something that you do character building with later on? You know, it's more important to establish who the characters are and not their personal fucking drama.
Lots of cringy dialogue. Just terrible.
Cringy, unrealistic, unbelievable dialogue. It's like, well, how do you know? I'm like, first of all, I was in EMS for a long time, and I've around a lot of military, law enforcement, and emergency medical service personnel, including fire rescue. And they don't talk like that. None of them. Don't doubt for a second, there's some real assholes in these places. Some of the greatest assholes I've ever known worked in rescue jobs. I mean, just sarcastic bastards. I mean, that's where all the most of the pranks that were pulled on me were pulled by other cops or medics and fire department. Gotta hope your show SEAL team doesn't get axed. I'm worried about it because Thoreau was a real major character in the show, and him leaving kind of hurts. And it feels like, as we watch this episode in particular, this build up towards an end.
I hate that.
that's
I
what
hope
I said.
they
I said a
continue.
few weeks ago that I think they're building up for this to be the final season.
It feels like it. It really does. And it makes me sad because it's their tentpole series. Outside of Yellowstone, this is their most watched show. And
Yes, the way
finally,
ended.
somebody
Why
at
ended
Paramount played their cards right, and they got Yellowstone back for Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
Because Paramount Plus was really suffering. When they don't have Navy SEALs on, when they launched Navy SEALs, absolutely, their numbers, I was one of them, went and watched it. I loved it. When it ended, I'm like, I already have half of the shows that they had. Like, I have all Star Trek episodes in HD, you know. I don't give a shit about 4K. 2K is good enough for me. Why? Because the human eye only sees in 2K. That's all your human eye can perceive is 2K. Human eye cannot see in 4. So it's like, oh, it's going to be in 4K. I don't care.
I'm waiting for them to come out with the 8K versions, then I'll invest.
8K. That way you just watch the bottom corner of a movie because your TV's not set up for 8K. But We got some. Look, I'm going to point out we got some really good Lisa stuff going here with Eric. There's a good scene with Eric in this.
Yeah.
He's the other guy there at the Tactical Operations Center that feeds them intel and tells them where to go. A big scene between him and Sonny. I liked Sonny. Shit's up with Sonny, man. Something's
That's
up with
actually
Sonny.
the next scene, I think.
Yeah, where they're give him the new intel, and Sonny calls them out as liars. And
Yeah, because
Eric is like, "Excuse me."
Yeah,
And then
because
as they're, go ahead, hon.
Eric calls in. So first we have the poker game, and they're just they've been on downtime for over a week and just getting bored as fuck.
They're getting frustrated on top of the board.
Clawing the walls, to use Jason's words. And then a call comes in from Eric. He tells them.
Remind everybody why they're in lockdown.
Yes, because it wasn't. They did this coup in the last episode and made it look like ISIS. But the computer that they took from the place might have been compromised. So they had to make sure first that Bravo was still safe. And that's why Eric calls in, tells them it still stands. Everybody thinks this is ISIS. And Sonny goes off like, you're really good at lying. Yeah. What if those lies don't hold up? And Eric's like, excuse me. So Jason takes him out of the room to kind of chew him up about his behavior. He's a little bit paranoid at this point, Sonny is. But rightfully so, as we see later. Yeah,
and I remember also before the last episode that they immediately asked, "Is that computer in a Faraday cage?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got it in a Faraday cage." And then he explains why. And if you don't know what a Faraday cage is, look it up. Just Google it. For computers in particular, Faraday cage for computers. It protects from any signal going in or out. Yeah. And so they had it in there, and Eric was like because it could have been compromised. They may have wanted you to get that on purpose, which means that killing that guy was something they expected, is how that came across to me. So now the new episode, they're locked down. They can't go anywhere. They can't go outside the wire. And
Jason wants to. Jason wants to.
Well, they're all
badly.
Also fidgety. They just like, because I tell people, soldier ain't a soldier until he's doing soldier shit, and a bomb's not a bomb until it explodes, you know. And so they're like, oh man, playing poker. They're getting frustrated. I think my favorite moment during the poker game is when one of them, was it Omar, says that here's my bet. If I win this hand, you, talking to Ray, don't get to retire. You have to stay.
I think that's Sonny, and Omar takes
Was it Sonny?
Says, yeah, I'm with you on that.
So it was a good scene. And then we get to Eric calling them again, and go ahead and hit that one.
So he tells them still standing, you're safe, blah, blah, blah. Jason wants action. But Eric tells them, no, you're on standby until further command. And that, I think, sets off Sonny. So Jason takes Sonny out, chews him up a little bit. And Sonny goes...
Yeah, you can hear him before the call is even ended. Yeah. He's like, you can hear him in the background. What the hell's wrong with you?
Sonny is just suspicious of everything and immediately goes to the whole Mali situation from the first episode.
Absolutely, Wade.
He's so sure they want to cover something up. And now they are lying again and putting us in danger. He wants to know what happened. What is the brass trying to cover up here?
Yeah, he says that, and you know, Jason tells him, he goes, he's the leader of our team. I know I'm here, but he's the one that commands us. What's wrong with you doing that? You know, he says, he's all Bravo. He's not going to screw us over. You know, and Sonny already attacked Lisa over that shit.
Yeah.
So he's got a loose gun problem, loose cannon problem, you know, and now, I mean, when he finds out about what happened at the end of this episode, I'm worried about Sonny, his character.
I think he's going to break.
It's going to break him. It absolutely is. That's his battle boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On or off the field. That's his best friend. Absolutely. And By the way, if I didn't say good morning to Dawn, I think I did, but good morning, Dawn. Peter Vickman Fanside is here. Good morning, young lady. Colonizer Jeebus is here. I'm certain he has his tickets to go see Wakanda forever. And Martin wrote down that Real Wade Nation, and I think I even responded to Wade. Yeah, I said, Wade, yes, it is worth a rewatch. Watch the show. Watch from the beginning, because it's neat to see how woke. I just forgot his name. the guy that lost his leg, Clay, is.
Yeah.
He starts out really woke. He's one of those new guys on the block, and they're like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you, kind of thing. And he eventually comes around by third season. Season 2 and season 3 kicked the shit out of him as a character, and it shook him to reality, especially when he was protecting that one ambassador and she gets murdered, and he realizes there are lines. These people are crossing lines, and I have to soldier the F up. And they got stuck at that embassy. Remember that? And he jumps on that mounted quad machine gun and just kills everybody. Remember that? That's a hell of a scene.
Yeah.
That was his transitional moment, becoming a real SEAL.
Yeah.
And being part of the team. Anything? Put the money from yours and Keith's enterprise into Anima's ticket. Anima doesn't want to go see it, buddy. Doesn't want to see it either.
See what?
I think he's
Wakanda.
Wakanda. Oh no, hell no.
I
no.
think he's talking about bring her to the state.
Oh, is that what he's saying? Okay. The cop that you're touching the gay guy taking a bath. You remember that?
That story's unforgettable. That's an unforgettable story.
It was unforgettable for me too. Almost had a heart attack. And my partner was in on that, by the way, if I didn't make that clear. My partner was already in there when I came in with the jump kit. Because when you go into a scene, a lot of people don't know this, that there's a rotation in an ambulance. That one call, your driver, the other person texts, and then you rotate. The other person drives, and then you tech. And that was my tech call. He decided to mess with me. Yeah, that was messed up, man. I've had some messed up stuff done to me.
That explains.
Yeah, to see me. I get you, Jeebus. I got you. I understand. Thanks, buddy. Enemy of the State, Will Smith, Gene Hackman had a Faraday cage in it for computers. Yeah. That's exactly right.
I maybe remember it wrong, but it wasn't a Faraday cage. It was an antenna to pick up all the communications in the
I don't remember. I'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
I will tell you this about that movie. A lot of people don't know this. That is an unofficial sequel to The Conversation with Gene Hackman from the 1970s. One of Harrison Ford's films before he became a star. He played the villain's manager, office manager. And it's an interesting film. It really is. I always tell people there are, I think, three people in the film that were in Apocalypse Now. And Francis Ford Coppola directed both. He, like a lot of directors, tend to want to use a lot of the same actors because they like working with them. There's a good rapport, good relationship. They get what they want. They communicate well. So directors tend to stick to them, except for George Lucas. George Lucas is one of those guys that doesn't have a relationship really with actors. Oddly, he has some weird friendship with Harrison Ford because of Spielberg. Because Spielberg is close friends with Ford. And in fact, there's a funny story about those three. They're having a cookout. And they found out that Harrison doesn't have a problem with snakes. That was where they found out he doesn't have a problem with actual snakes. He picked up a snake, a gartered snake that freaked everybody out and threw it over a fence into the neighbor's yard. But they also found out that he is terrified of spiders. He has
Look who's
arachnophobia. And of
Hello,
course, that
Heidi.
scene with the tarantulas on Harrison Ford in Raiders, you'll notice it was done a specific way to where he didn't actually have contact with any of them. And also, when you see him supposedly wipe the spiders, he didn't. That was fake. He turns away because it freaked him out. So, Heidi is here. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Well, what time is it over there? It's not. It's afternoon there. It's evening.
6.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock in the evening there.
Well, for Heidi, that's evening. For me, that's afternoon.
And of course, for those of you who don't know, Heidi, who is in the chat, is Anima's best friend.
Yep.
They had a conversation over the weekend in German, and I had to sit and listen to it, and I understood about a third of it. And I would call out stuff like, "Hey, I know what you just said there. It's naughty."
Yeah, that was fun.
Uh,
Should we get on? We've only done 2 scenes.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Colonizer Jeeves' comment. Yeah, we're looking into it. We are looking into it. And Scott, Scott, it's on the panel, and I'm living with. He's also keeping an eye on stuff like this, and we're making a plan.
I'm Austrian.
No, yeah, she's Austrian. She's from Vienna. Vienna, of course, if you didn't know, is the Paris of Bavaria. It is not.
You had to bring that.
I'm such an asshole. Sorry,
Yeah.
Heidi.
Not gonna argue on that, Gerry. Fuck you. Can I please continue?
Yes, please do.
Don't want this to be a.
I don't want to
3 hour
interrupt
stream,
you
sorry.
anymore. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ah. They're having a meeting at headquarters, and Lisa has new intel because now they know the person in Iran who is behind the orders to Al-Sham and gave them the money and weapons and all that stuff to attack the Crampton. It's General Afshin Rajavi. And he was using Russian missiles to draw attention to Moscow and away from the Middle East, which, as we know, completely failed because it drew the SEALs into Syria. That's episode 1 of that season. So the plan is to take him out because the attack on the Crampton was just one of many things that they have going on. But they can't just go to Iran and grab him because he's such a high person in the military and working undercover. So the plan is to attack him outside of Iran and not to make it look like it was the US. That is the only way they could get that green lighted. Anything to add?
No.
That's kind of your thing with these tactic sessions.
This is not really a military episode for that stuff. So, yeah, just keep going.
Okay. The next scene is between Jason and Ray. Both a little bit depressed because they're still on downtime. Jason still blaming himself for everything. Yeah, not much about that either. And then things get interesting because Clay at the vet center runs into Ben and asks him why he keeps missing his appointments. And Ben is whining and being a pussy, basically. Oh, the military broke me. They need to fix me.
Being a pussy. Oh, look at you.
He is. He pisses me
agree.
off because he's getting so much help and just keeps whining. And he wasn't even there. Like, one of the things that he keeps complaining about is that, oh, hi, Joe, is that he was just sitting in a box, basically being a remote soldier.
Look, I got to tell you something. Look, before we go any further, once again, there are 2 veterans on the show right now. So, warning, the discussion in the following video is between 2 military veterans. Some subject discussed may be disturbing to others. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. If you don't like veterans, fuck off. That's my general feeling. Now, I'm going to talk about Ben a little bit because Ben does something that I understand can cause PTSD. if you know you're killing people, it can cause trauma to the brain. And I get that. But this guy is, I don't know how he even passed any psyche evals. Because for a lot of jobs, you got to be able to have the psychology to be able to do it. And to have a job where you're working with drones that are going to inevitably take other people's lives, you have to be of a certain psychological make. And this guy, how he got weeded through there, meant he was probably dishonest and lied to get into that job. So I really have no sympathy for this guy. Empathy, maybe. Sympathy, no. The guy is a raging pussy.
Yeah,
Complains about everything. He's a walking victim. He's your typical woke fucking, what do they call that new generation?
Snowflake?
Snowflake generation. We'll just call him that. He's a snowflake. And, he's not, I am one person that absolutely believes in you need to cowboy the fuck up when you deal with shit. And your problems shouldn't be made into other people's problems. And that's what he does. He likes to project. He projects all of his problems on everybody around him. That's when I said, this guy's going to kill Sonny. Kill Clay.
Yeah.
They're going to pull a fucking Chris Kyle. Because Chris Kyle was always helping other veterans with PTSD. And it was one of the young warriors, a real warrior, not a armchair warrior, that killed him.
You said that last episode when they first meet.
Yeah, when they first met, the minute they interacted, I'm like, this
Ben starts freaking out and Clay steps into the escalator and you were like, oh, this is not
broke his wrist. Broke his wrist in the
a
process.
Drone pilot.
What's that?
I said this character's a drone pilot.
Yeah, he was a drone pilot, and his PTSD is, and he actually tries to shit on Clay. He says, you lost your leg, you can get over that. Some scars are in the inside. Saying this to a guy who's a fucking Navy SEAL.
Well,
and he brushes off everything that Clay tells him. Everything.
I got to tell you, I saw a recruiting station at the last Comic-Con I was at. They recruit video game players for this now.
Yep.
Yeah. They make the best. And the thing is, in part of your training, part of the training that we go through in the military is dehumanize the enemy. Not for them. We do it for us. So it doesn't, we refer to them as tangos, bad guys, When you get regional, you'll start getting other nicknames, in
Vietnam, they were the VC.
Vietnam, they had Zipperhead, Zip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use the other one.
No.
Because I believe it is disparaging. Vietnam veterans, I don't judge them if they use it because it's part of their lingo, but it's not mine. With the war in the Middle East between Iraq and Afghanistan, they called the enemy Hajis, which of course a Hajj or a Haji is somebody who is traveling for Islam. They're a pilgrimage. So, and so they just referred to them as Hajjas. Actually, that's the nickname, Hajjas, H-A-J. And that was the colloquial regional nickname during the Gulf War. And but mostly we were trained, and a lot of these guys too today are still trained to say bad guys, tangos, because it dehumanizes, turns them into an opponent in a video game. Mm-hmm. Just a target, a moving target. And it, by dehumanizing the enemy, it makes it easier to live with when you have to kill people. And ever since the end of the draft, what we've seen is an increase of kill ratio for your average infantry soldier, whether it's Marine Corps or Army. And I know there are special forces in Air Force and in the Navy SEALs, but predominantly boots on the ground are Marines or Army, predominantly. And so therefore, they were the ones who were gauged. And there was around between 17 and 33% kill ratio with soldiers in combat. That's really low for those that were drafted. That was from World War I all the way through Vietnam. And it's a low number. All of a sudden, they see that number changing with an all-volunteer military. And that's why that book came out, if you ever heard of it. And they did a miniseries called Generation Kill.
Yep.
And it was based off of the study that was done of how damn near 100% of infantry today aim at the enemy. The previous wars, they would just aim downfield, downrange, and hope that they didn't hit anybody. There was only a small percentage of those guys ready to kill. Whereas today it's different because these are guys that wanted to be there. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Now, which Supergirl is that? The new one, or is that the one from 1980?
That's Be Moist.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
the
look.
CW. That's
It's one of the few times that word doesn't bother my daughter.
Yeah. A friend of mine picked it up for me at a pawn shop. I would never buy one of these things.
Did he haggle for it?
He probably did. He gave it to me as a birthday present about a year ago.
Man, I love that figurine.
I do too. I think it's awesome.
It's okay.
It's a version of Supergirl. That's all. Hey,
I like it. That's just the thing I do.
If it was the one I really wanted, it would be the Michael Turner Supergirl in the all blue outfit. That's my favorite version. So,
well, getting back to it, Anima, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You had to pick your nose. It's okay.
No, I had to get another drink.
Let's go to the next scene.
I ran out of coffee because you're talking so much.
It's a fucking talk show.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
Military Monday.
derailing talk.
He's speaking from experience. You know,
No,
he's
it's
giving
fine.
context to the show.
Yeah, now he is.
You love me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think I do. No, I do. Now he's going to mute me or kick me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, because I have the notes. That was a clever move, right? Omar comes to talk to Ray about Jason. Basically, he wants the do's and don'ts with the new boss. And yeah, gets the advice to not be scared to call him out. What he should have added was probably not in front of the team, because that's what he kind of does. But we don't really learn that much from that scene. Where it gets interesting is the next one. We're back in the headquarters. And of course, what Sonny always has been dreading, the cover story about the ISIS attack is falling apart. So they're running out of time. They need to get Rajavi. To do so, they need to figure out where he's traveling. But so far, they just could track back the travels he had done before. There's no pattern, however, to be able to tell where he's going next. And this is where Razor Coy comes in. He runs a multinational finance firm, and the base is in Iran. And he is the one that all the money runs through. He's laundering the money for Rajavi. He too travels a lot, of course, to cover his traces. And he is very likely to know where Rajavi is at. So finally, Bravo team gets orders to get into action, to hack into his computer and find out as much as possible about Rajavi. So that's what they are trying. They are in the building opposite the office building where Coy is in. And they're just spying on him, figuring out where he goes, when he goes there, what's the best way to get close to be able to hack his computer, phone, whatever, without getting into direct contact. Jump to the next day, or anything you want to say?
No, I'm I'll probably save it till a bit here because I had an opinion that I wanted to share about Omar. But go ahead.
Omar, okay. Next day, they split into teams of two. Two stay outside and observe that Sonny and Barack, I think is his name. Two are headed to a vacant office on the floor atop where Coy is, because that's the closest they can get to tap into his computer. And Omar and Jason stay in the lobby to observe from there. But, of course, we run into problems because communication is scrambled. They can hear each other sometimes. It's choppy. And they can't get around the firewall. Ray is trying very hard to get around it, but he just can't. So he goes to get a reach of Jason because he can't reach him from that office. So he has to walk halfway through the building until finally communication works and tells Jason, we need to do something. There's no way we can get in. At that moment, more security arrives. So something has caught their attention. So they need to move out. Jason goes up to get the two guys from the office. They make it out. They meet back up with the other guys, Sonny and Brock, and talk tactics because this didn't work. They didn't even get close to getting the information that they needed.
Oh, Hail War Monkey. Yeah. How you doing?
I remember yesterday when we watched that scene where Jason goes up in the elevator and the two guys are talking and there are no subtitles. Yeah. The reason is why his communication is open, so Omar listens in, and the two are talking about a party that they are to accompany Coy to that evening before he flies out to China the next day. Because this is why they are on a tight schedule. They can't follow him to Shanghai. China is a no-go zone for them. So they don't have much time to get to that information. So the new plan is to get Coy when he's on the way from the party to the airport, because there's dead spots, as Jason calls it. And
hey, Cece, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Cece.
Now we are at the Lisa and Eric scene that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lisa asks Eric for a word in private, and she's pissed about Team Bravo because they screwed it up, because they couldn't get the information. It was a simple task in her eyes, and they screwed it up. And what's the plan now? And Jason made Eric reach out to an old contact to set him up with tickets to the party and the helicopter. But Lisa is afraid that if Coy vanishes, Rashari will know that they are on him and probably
they're on to him. Yeah.
So she's not cool with all that, and she's kind of mad at Bravo. But Eric is all Team Bravo, like you said before, and he proves it here.
Yeah, and Sonny went after her previously because he says, you wanted to get further away from it? Well, you got there and walked away from her. You know, and she's standing there because she was trying to be Team Bravo, but also do her job. Whereas this episode, she kind of comes off as your typical non-initiated intelligence officer who's out for whatever it is that's going to impact them and less about the team. So, yeah.
Next, we are at the party. Some members of Team Bravo got in with the tickets they organized, and they just mingle and observe. And when he gets ready to leave, Sonny's task is to install a kill switch on the car that is supposed to bring Coy to the airport. And the plan is to kill the engine and then swoop in via helicopter.
Yep. In mid-trip.
Mid-trip.
So they could just get him, yep.
Because he just has two guards on the drive or something like that. So, and Bravo, they are 6 people. Sonny almost gets caught when he places the kill switch, and Omar kind of saves his ass.
Well, I was watching, like, why did he do that right when that car pulled up?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, holy shit, why would you do that?
It was kind of funny, though. how Omar got him out there.
Well, yeah, because the guy that gets out of that car saw him do that. And he's like complaining, calling for security. And then Omar comes out there speaking the tongue and saying, everything's good. Everything's good. Like,
he just wanted to look at a nice car. He's drunk. And Sonny plays it off well, the drunk guy, with a glass of champagne in his hand.
So,
hey, Joe.
Oh, yeah, there's a link in there for you, Joe, in the private chat.
Okay, got it.
So next scene.
The scene that made sure Clay is not going to live at the end of this episode, because he and Stella, the baby's asleep finally, and they talk about the future.
Yeah, this is the clincher.
Yeah.
I said, oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I love you so much. I love you too. I can hardly wait to spend the rest of my life with you moment. And I was like, that's it. He's dead. They're going to kill him right now. And then the phone rings.
The phone rings. It's Ben.
He's Ben.
Completely off his rocker.
He calls me.
Yeah. Tells him where he is.
And then tells him where he's at and then hangs up.
Yeah. And Clay goes to check on him. And it's like,
and he gets there and it's the Air Force recruiting office. Air Force.
We're not there yet.
Again, civilians in uniform. Recruiting office. I'm so bent. I'm so fucked up. From the Air Force. So he's all broken and making it everybody else's problem. Completely. He's also a fucking idiot. Because he completely misunderstands and twists what Clay said to him. And it's like, that's not even, you're not even twisting it in a way that makes sense. So what he is really, he's crazy. This has nothing to do with PTSD. This is about a guy who suffers from mental illness.
And that should have been picked up when he...
Nobody seemed to even pick that up because nobody with PTSD goes that stupid. They don't become that stupid. They don't go. It's like, this is my thing about PTSD is how Hollywood misrepresents it. He was your classic Hollywood misrepresentation of what PTSD is or isn't. So he's got a gun. He's going to break in and destroy and burn
We are not
whatever.
there yet. We're not there yet.
I said he shows up. So you got more to add to that scene before?
The end of the scene with Clay and Stella is the phone call, and Clay goes to meet him.
Yeah, and Clay goes.
And then we cut back to Jordan.
All right, go ahead.
Coy leaves the party, but he doesn't head for the car. He heads for a helicopter. So they inform Jason, we need to do something, change of plans. And Jason decides to change it to an air-to-air interdiction, which they never have done before. So the team is kind of like, are you sure? Are you really sure? And Jason, which surprised me, asks Omar's opinion. And I think Ray cuts in and tells him, hey, this is crazy. And Jason just repeats, Bravo 2. What are your thoughts on that? And Omar's like, that's our only shot. So in this episode, we see Omar fully accepted as Bravo 2, which is nice, because it took long enough. So the plan is to shoot out the Halosat, kill the communication, and then just make them land and go get the guy. And I don't know who takes the shot. Is it Trent or is it Jason? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Because it goes to plan. They shoot out the communication, make them land, shoot the guards, and take Coy. And now we get back to Clay and Ben at the recruiting office. And Ben has a hammer and is full on crazy. Clay tries to de-escalate him, but he just goes worse and worse. He wants to trash the place. He basically tells Clay, fuck off if you're not here to help, because he wanted his ninja skills, he puts it, to get in there into the place and then just trash and burn it. Clay, of course, is trying to talk him out of it, and that's where he pulls out a gun.
Yep. And so I figured what they're going to do is have him wrestle him for the gun and would shoot him. I figured that was going to be
would have been good, right?
It felt like they were going to try to follow the Chris Kyle situation, but no, it was a double blind. Instead, they have him wrestle the gun away from him. Right at the instant, security for some reason shows up, flashes a bright floodlight at him. Cop gets out, security officer, I don't know what he was, yells, freeze.
Security. No, security.
Did he yell that?
Yeah.
Either way it goes. So a fully trained combat effective soldier turns like, what? With a pistol in his hand. And
yeah, but his arm is relaxed by his side. The pistol is pointing towards
that's not my point. My point is this is a combat effective dude.
Yeah.
Turns to that weapon and is caught off guard by this. I thought that was dumb.
Yeah.
2, that he would be shot with the gun at his side aimed at the ground.
Yeah.
That is a safety position for a weapon. Aimed at the ground, either in the air or at the ground. When it's aimed at the ground, the command is drop your weapon, not pull the trigger. And that's what they did. So he just fucking murders him.
Yeah.
The security officer murdered him.
And then
because he never gave a command. In the military, when I was trained, you had to say 3 things before you pulled a trigger if you were security. Anybody remember what that is? Do you remember that? You're a military prick. You should remember that.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Halt.
Too long ago. Oh,
3
yeah.
halt.
Well, yeah. Halt 3 times. You're right.
What panics my dad one time when he was climbing over a fence to get back into the base, one of his guys in his squad, Willie London, was doing security the night. He was climbing over a fence to get back onto post because he was off post illegally. He wasn't supposed to leave post. And so he climbed over the fence. He's halfway over this barbed wire fence and he hears, halt, halt, halt.
Wow. That guy was ready to shoot him. No doubt.
He was ready to shoot. My dad yells, don't shoot, Willie, it's me. One of my favorite stories.
There's a scene in Boys in Company C like that.
Yeah.
Where that guy's trying to sneak back into the friggin' barracks and gets shot on top of the barbed wire fence.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, I remember that and I connected that with the story my dad told. And I would have, if my dad had waited and told me later, I would have went, you stole that from Boys from Company C.
Right.
But he told me that when I was like little.
Yeah.
I remember the first time he told me. And my dad, it's like, my stories are funny. My dad used to tell some of the most funny stories, like about the military. Shit about anything. I don't talk about this, and I'm not going to go into any detail. But the reason my dad went into the military was he was a low-level criminal.
Yeah, same
for the mob
had 2
in
choices.
Illinois.
2 choices: jail or military. That's it.
And that's he got. It was a gun charge because he was holding a gun that was illegal. He wasn't legally allowed to have a gun. It wasn't his gun. And he got busted for that, and that's when he ended up in the Army.
Yep.
And I tell you, it's how Vic, my best friend, who's been on here, I got him in trouble by telling him to beat the shit out of an asshole, and I forgot he just turned 18.
Oh, man.
And so not only did he just turn 18, the guy he beat up was underage.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
It was bad. Even though we were in school together, it mattered legally. And it's like, oh shit, I gave the worst advice in the world to Vic Armstrong. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And I apologized to him so many times over the years. I'm so sorry I did that. And he goes, hey man, it cleaned up my life. The judge gave me a choice, jail or military. And
look, I've said several times that if you are physically and mentally fit, there is nothing wrong with every male in the country serving a couple of years in the military. There is nothing wrong.
I think everybody should serve something. I don't care if it's Coast Guard. What do they call it?
If they're mentally and physically.
Civil Air Patrol.
Hey, now.
My ex, Zoe's mother was in the Civil Air Patrol. And she came and told me that. She goes, I'm in the Civil Air Patrol. I said, is there an uncivil air patrol?
Ouch.
What do you call that?
Is there a radical?
Understand that name.
Well, if you crash your plane in you want us around. Well, not us anymore because I haven't been in it for years. But I was Civil Air Patrol.
I used to sing a fake theme song anytime she said it. Civil Air Patrol, sitting on the ground talking about airplanes.
Guys,
Yeah.
we have one more scene.
Oh, one more scene.
Okay, one more scene. Get with it.
Because you jump to Clay being shot, but before that happens, Jason and Omar question, quote unquote, Coy. They threaten him. Either you tell us where he's next, or they will find you dead.
Yeah, and I like the threat that they give him because he's like, I don't feel threatened by you. And
no,
Jason
he pulls
goes,
the lawyer card. He pulls the lawyer card on them. And Jason was like, really?
Really? You
After
think
all
that's
this-
going to work here? That's
Wait.
what the
SEAL
police
teams
asshole.
and lawyers, that doesn't compute.
Yeah.
No.
So
They don't
Jason
get
just
involved with
kind
that.
of tells him, all right, fuck it, smoke him.
And they have these huge canisters of petrol. And he's like, well, I tell you. Here's my
Yeah,
phone.
he says, smoke him and burn him.
Yeah.
And
he
it
gets
was
so scared.
yeah, that's when he realizes, oh shit, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah. He realizes he's fucked and he gives him up. In 3 days, Rajavi is to travel to Iraq, Blasim Airfield, Mosul, Iraq. And they confirm with his phone. And he's like, yeah, my phone is in my left pocket. So Jason grabs it and is like, yeah, it works with retina scan and just shoves it in his face.
I got a perfect meme for that, by the way.
I like how they treat the bad guy.
I'm going to send it to you, Martin, on DMs on Twitter. Go ahead, guys.
I got
Sorry.
to be honest, with that final scene with Clay, I felt that there was 2 ways they should have gone with that. One, if they were going to go with him being shot by Ben, it should have been on accident.
Yeah.
Or they should have been still wrestling for the gun when the security officer pulls up and the officer goes to shoot Ben with the gun in his hand. But because Clay is there with him trying to get the gun, he takes the bullet. I thought that would have been a more effective, dramatic way of doing it. Instead, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Then we get the long goodbye where Clay is lying there dead, bleeding, and the camera goes up in the air.
Up,
like,
the bullet hole, center mass.
Yes.
Right through the sternum. You know that heart got blown out.
Mm.
He is dead. Knew it was coming. I'd heard rumors at the before the season started. Do you think they're going to kill Clay this season? I think they're going to kill Clay. These were insiders talking about it, and I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think he's a top cat. And then I heard about this new show that he's starring
in. And he's
in.
wasted on that. That was
The
such
minute
a
I
mistake
heard that,
there.
I'm like, they are going to kill him. They're going to kill him. And then when I saw what was going on with this Ben character, I went, he's the one that's going to cause it or do it. So in the end, he caused it. But it was such a dumb death.
Absolutely.
Not a wasted death, a dumb death. Looking like a deer in headlights. And just like, what? He has that look of like, what? And he's got that gun at his side, like, what? He would have immediately dropped that. Anybody that knew what they were doing with a weapon would have dropped it immediately. But oh well.
It was a dumb way to kill him.
So Clay is dead. Yeah, he's not coming back from that.
And Sonny is going to be heartbroken.
Like he's not dead. He's pianing for the. Never mind. I messed.
What do they say? Because of Game of Thrones, and it's like if they don't die on camera, they ain't dead. And that's the way it is. He died on camera. That camera made sure to cut to that top angle and go upward away from him to let people know that bullet is here, not in the tummy, not in the side, center mass. He's dead.
And like you said before, I'm really scared about what's going to happen to Sonny when he learns that.
Oh, what are we talking about here in the private chat?
Oh,
Send it
it's a
to-
meme. When you were talking about that guy that said he wanted a lawyer and all that garbage, when you find out, hey, these guys aren't messing around, I've got the perfect meme for that. I sent it to Martin. So
And
he could
that scene
share
was
it.
just so good.
Yeah.
Do you want me
Like,
to put it on
really
display?
pulled down your helicopter, shot your
I can put
guards,
it
and
up.
now
Hang
you
on.
come with a lawyer.
I'll present it. Hang on. I just want to get the right size.
You'll
and everything.
present.
Yes, I'll present. Let's see.
Be a professional,
Share screen. I'm trying to be professional.
I don't.
Try
There,
hard.
there you go. Put it up whenever you feel like it. Yeah, this is the
Hey.
perfect one. This is a perfect meme for that. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit. That's a
I
fact.
like it.
That's me and my stepson David, who is an Iraq War veteran's favorite meme for wannabes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was it. It was nothing major. I just thought that would enhance your little story there.
Yeah, I wanted to show this one again because it's one of my favorite military memes. I have two favorite military memes based on shit that I said or stuff that I made fun of. It's original. So I'm going to download these real quick. Save image. That's one. Let me get the other one here.
But yeah, when you said he was talking about a lawyer with a SEAL team, I'm like, no, that guy obviously doesn't understand what's going on here. That lawyers are above their pay grade. They do the dirty
Yeah.
work, man.
But that's what's so cool when Jason goes badass and points out, dude, we've got down your helicopter, we shot your guards. I can put you in that helicopter and burn you to death, and you are coming with your lawyer. Seriously? And that's where he realizes he's fucked.
Yeah.
And when he sends them to shove him in there, pour the petrol, light it up, that's where he realizes, yep.
I'm gonna have to watch this show from the beginning. It's in the 6th season now, right? I'm gonna have to check it out from the beginning.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I
because
highly recommend the show.
I dropped out, I think, in season 2, and now I decided to watch the first episode together with Gerry, and it was so good that I was like, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah.
So I jumped back on. I
Well,
missed a lot of stuff.
you know, when they make them, they don't.
Here you
make
go.
many
Hold on.
military shows.
Air Force. Get ready for it.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I wrote
That's one
that.
of my
I saw that
favorites.
photo and I'm like, that's what popped into my head when I
Yeah.
looked at their expression.
Yeah.
And this is another one. I actually said this to my first sergeant.
Yes. Love that story.
I didn't say how it made you look. What happened was during formation, so all the platoons were there, and I got singled out by him while he was talking. He referred to me as a pacifist. I'm not a pacifist.
Oh man.
He says, best shot in the company is a goddamn pacifist. And I went, wait a minute. I know I'm the best shot in the company. He can't be talking about me. He is talking about me. And I raised my hand. He goes, what, private? And I said, I'm the best shot in the company. I'm not a pacifist. And he goes, what are you then? I said, I'm a conscientious objector. He goes, what's the difference? I said, oh, a pacifist. If you slap them, they'll let you slap them. If you stab them, they'll let you stab them. You pull a gun and shoot them, they'll let you shoot them. They won't fight you. They won't resist. You pull a knife on me, I'll pull a gun and I'll shoot you. And I'll go to bed and sleep just fine. I'll
I'm gonna
stab you in the
protect
face.
myself. That's the difference.
Yeah. I said, the thing is I won't take an order to kill somebody. That's where I draw the line. I won't be ordered to kill somebody, but I will kill in defense of myself and others. I absolutely will. And if you tell me that we're going to be overrun if I don't fire, I'll be firing.
Yeah.
And I'll sleep just fine that night. Well, as long as the people are dead that we had to kill. So my top, first sergeant Tom was like, he goes, oh, good safety point. And knowing is half the battle. My hand went back up again. He turned and looked at me and I said, losing is also half the battle, Top. And he says, where's your military bearing? I said, it rolled right over there, Top. I did a knife hand. I said, roll right over there, Top. He turned and then because I made it like a ball bearing, and he turned and looked at me and I said, I did not make you look. You did that all on your own.
Did that all on your own, pal. That's it.
Thank God he liked me. He actually did like me. He put up with a lot of my hijinks. Yeah, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's big. And let me tell you, I had a favorite moment. I loved my dad so much. He sent me the shittiest care package, an empty one. When I was in Riyadh. He sent me an
Wow,
empty
that's
care
wrong.
package.
Wow.
But
Your
he's
dad's a
in there with
prankster,
a
huh?
note that said, the real one comes tomorrow. He just wanted to fuck with me. It was funny as hell. Next one had great shit in it. My aunt sent a fucked up one once. My Aunt Maddie, God rest her soul. She sent me one with a knitted, I didn't know what it was.
Mhm.
It looked like a booty, but it was too small. And I'm like, what is this? So everybody was like checking it out, going, is it like a hat? Does she not know how to make a hat? You know, I don't know. And I'm reading it, and it's like and I read a Peter warmer. And I'm reading the card aloud, and I go, I hope you like the knitted Peter. And then I stopped right there. And everybody goes, Peter what? And I went, nothing. And they're like, no, what is it? What is it? And I didn't hear the end of that for a while, that my aunt sent me a Peter warmer, because it wasn't that I got one that was funny to everybody.
Right.
It was the fact that, like, how does your aunt know your penis size? What's up with that?
Oh, Jesus.
So,
I got a great story about a care package.
one last one. This
first.
is my son, Benjamin.
Mhm.
Benjamin sent me a really sweet one of candy and drawings of me and his mom getting back together again. It was sad.
Mhm.
But he sent me a G.I. Joe watch,
Uh-huh.
and I wore it.
That's
I
cool.
wore it all the time. And my
Yeah.
sergeant and my buddies all thought that was so gay. And I'm like, no, I love my boy, man. I wore that little tiny little kid's G.I. Joe watch underneath my wrap.
Hell
But there you
yeah.
go. Go for it, man.
I've got to pull up a picture first.
You looking for a
But
pic?
it was a care package that my mother sent me when I was in basic training that got me called out in front of the entire company, man. Of course, anybody that's been in the military, Gary can back me up on this. When you get a care package from home, they open it in front of the entire.
Yeah, the sergeants open it.
Yeah, and they do it in front of everybody in a formation. And I'm in first squad, and I'm right in front of the friggin'.
Well, we did it in the barracks, but yeah,
No,
it's
we
still the
did-
same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, they do it right in front of everybody because what they're doing is they're checking it for contraband. If you're a fat boy, they want to see if you got snacks in there, stuff like that, right? And well, I'm having a hard time finding it, but I don't need it. I'll show it to you guys later on sometime. But
Well, here you go. Here's another one for you, Joe.
Okay. Do you see that fucker there?
Hold on. I got to remove the brand thing.
Right.
There now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you see that fucker there? That's what a stupid motherfucker looks like.
But my mom sends me this package, man, and I'm in first squad now, Gary. And anybody that doesn't understand that, there's we got 4 platoons in this company, and I'm standing right in the front of my platoon. Okay, and we're all in the quad in formation, and there's like 2 platoons across from us, and 2 on this side, and I'm in the front. And the drill sergeant's going through my package, and he gets a picture.
What was he
And
doing
looks
going
at
through
me.
your package?
You know what he was doing with my package. Anyway, he looks at the picture, and he looks at me, and he goes, Rivers, you mean to tell me your father was a drill sergeant? He flips the picture around. It's a picture of my dad.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
brown. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it made your life a living hell after that.
I was
too.
like, oh, I just rolled my eyes to the heavens, and I said, yes, drill sergeant. And he goes, and you know how they do when they want to mess with you, man. He got right close to me and popped me with the rim of that round brown, which, if you guys don't
Yeah,
know,
they get you right
it's
in
a
the
really
forehead.
stiff brim. And he popped me right in the forehead with it. He goes, Lord help your little effing body now, because I'm going to drill you on the ground because I knew you can take it. And just, oh my God. It was just horrible.
Where it was with me, where the drill sergeants, they liked me. And I ended up
Oh,
being
they
in
did. It was funny. He was just fronting because they all treated me like gold like that after that, because I was the son of a drill sergeant, and they all missed their kids. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah. Because
With
if
me,
you guys
it
don't
was
know,
just
drill
simply-
sergeants, the highest rate of divorce in the military
Oh,
is
we watched
drill
it. We
sergeants
watched
and
it
military
happen.
policemen.
Because Drill Sergeant Samuels, he was our senior drill instructor for the first 4 weeks before Drill Sergeant Samuels came back from vacation. Drill Sergeant Samuels was just a badass. He looked like JJ from Good Times, and he had gigantic lips that never completely closed. And so when he would run, his lips never moved. His body would move, and his lips would just stay stationary. And you could see his teeth moving up and down inside his mouth, and it was like, what the fuck? I thought that was great. And I did a caricature of him because his favorite thing to say is, I'm going to boomerang your ass. So I did a caricature of him, and he got hold of, I won't tell the whole story. He got a hold of the drawing and called me to report. Echo, echo. Everybody echoes. He goes, Private Kissel. Private. He called me Private. Private Kissel, report. And my eyes got big like, oh my God, he really did. Oh, because they're all telling me he got a hold of the drawing. I'm like, why would you let him? And like, I felt so betrayed. And I showed up in his office, and I'm like, I was always afraid he's going to like just fucking kick me out of the army at any second, because I was always like, I beat the shit out of the guy right in front of him. And I got in there, and I'm like, man, I just fucking mocked him in artwork. And he goes, you drew this? I went, yes. Can you draw kids? I'm like, I do portraits. Yes. And he says, I want you to draw my kids. Can you draw my kids? I went, yeah. Okay. He says, hey, I'll get some pictures. Sit in here, chill out. I'll go get you some stuff. You need anything to do artwork with? I said, I'll need pencils and drawing paper. And he goes, I'll go get some. And I was just chilling in his office, having a Coke. Right. Coke and a smile.
Coke and a smile.
And then they also found out that I knew how to do martial arts, along with several other guys in the platoon, real martial arts. And so we became part of a nightclub, fight club. They would throw mats out at night, drill sergeants and all, hats came off, ranks came off, and we would spar. Real full contact sparring. It was great, man. I enjoyed it. And so drill sergeants liked me. And they said, why does none of this faze you? You don't react to anything. And I said, I got to tell you, man, you guys are nothing compared to my dad.
Right. Yeah.
My dad would beat the shit out of me on top of doing the same stuff you do.
There you go.
So I was already a soldier before I became a soldier. And I loved that life, man. I hated leaving it. I don't know about you, but I hated leaving it.
I was planning on doing 20, man. I was going to do a full career. And
that was my goal.
Johnson Island, and that all changed. They kicked me off the planet for a year. I was on a rock in the middle of the ocean. It was 2 miles long, half a mile wide, big enough for airstrip on an airstrip, bunkers on one end and housing on the other. I was guarding chemical weapons for a year in the middle of the damn Pacific. I mean, it was like MASH. We went to work drunk, man. It was ridiculous. I was doing TOC access. I was doing Tactical Operations Center for the rest of you guys that don't know what TOC is. The same thing that you see in the show all the time, because I hear you guys talking about it. I was doing TOC access. I was running the gate and the perimeter and all that stuff. Yeah. And I had heard, and Gary, you know how this goes. You hear things in the military about certain posts and stuff. And I had heard through the grapevine that I was a specialist at the time, and I was planning on, doing a career, which meant the next step for me was what? PLDC, leadership school, right?
Yep.
So I could get my NCO, right? And I had heard that if you stayed in and you didn't lose your shit that year while you were out there, because it was a hardship tour, 365 days, and they had to get you off, whether you had orders or not. And I had heard that if you didn't lose your shit while you were out there, and try and beat somebody to death or anything like that, that if you stayed in, became an NCO, you were coming back out there eventually. And I was like, nah, one year is enough. That's when I decided, I'm getting out and going to college. Screw it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I did do 3 years. That was, look, the mission of, I'm going to throw us way off here, but before I finish here, my other 3 years of military service was in the Louisiana State National Guard. And wow, was that an eye-opening experience. I was scared to death after serving for 3 years in that, because those guys didn't know what the hell they were doing. But their mission has changed over the years. They're very good at what they do now. They get deployed a lot. I mean, once the first, what was that, 91, when Desert Storm happened, they became a much bigger part of the active military, and they train a lot more now. But
yeah, 90 was
back when I was in.
Desert
Oh my
Shield.
God, those guys didn't know what they were doing. First time we went to the field, we were setting up a combat talk center, and that we're setting up for light discipline and everything on the whole thing, and these guys are running around with flashlights, with their shelter halves and stuff. I'm like, are you trying to blind me? What are you guys doing? And we can't find anything on ruck. I said, well, then pack your ruck the same way every time. You'll know where everything is. And besides, if you just turn the damn flashlight off, you'll see just fine. You're killing my night vision, people. What are you doing? God, man, it was like, and they were, and then they wanted to learn shit when they found out I was actually in the Army for 3 years, So,
Yeah,
but their mission's totally changed. Back then, I poo-pooed on the National Guard. I don't anymore. They're a much bigger part of the
NG
military now.
FNG, NG, fucking no good. But fact is, the National Guard gets the exact same training as the Army.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Reserves does too. They all go to the same basic training, same AIT. They're trained exactly the same way. So I do want to tell you, Alex, I do not think that anything you got would beat my penis warmer that my aunt sent me. I'm just telling you, buddy. And that was in front of everybody. But yes, I agree with you though on this one, 100%. Those G.I. Joe watches were cool. I love that watch. I was so happy my son sent that to me. It showed his pride in me as a soldier. I love that. Before we go, Anima, are you even there? Did you leave?
No, I'm here. I'm just lurking.
Here's that
Listening
picture if
to
you
you.
want to see it. This is the picture my mother sent me.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, wait, I saw this one before. Yeah.
He can't deny me, can he?
No,
No.
that's you, dude.
The only thing I'm missing, my brother got the cleft in the chin. I didn't get that, but the rest of it's me.
You mean, as my best friend refers to it, because I have one, it's called a dick rest.
Dick rest.
Jeez.
He did that, dude. We're sitting there one day talking, and I just shaved, and you can see my cleft in my chin, and he goes, hell of a nice dick rest you got there, buddy. And I went, fuck you. But I guess we're at the end here, and I wanted to try something. I'm going to see if I can do it, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I should even bother with it today. But I figured out how to do the mirror from Romper Room. But I think I'll save it for another day when Keith is here, because I like doing that when Keith is here. But I'm going to go ahead and read the names of everybody in the chat. Let's see.
You're roboting a bit.
You're
Gerry.
roboting.
You did go Robotnik there for a second, buddy.
Your face. T. Bud Martin, Penny, Dr. Dragon, Sox Bulletins, Bill Barkley in Scotland, who joined us after he was reading his book. Dragon Ruse, Alex Moore, Glenn Fleming, Kingsport Cal, Magitech Mags, Jacob the Critic, Six, Zacharot 315, Joe's Atmosphere, who is also on the show, Don Ecker, who is he's my tormentor. He's my personal tormentor. Don
He
Ecker.
gave up to count the F-bombs. There were just too many today.
He said, fuck it.
Yeah.
The Peter Venkman fan site, Colonizer Jeebus, Real Wade Nation, Heidi Marks from Vienna, Austria. Cece was here. Let's see. And I guess that's it. Is that it? That's it. That's everybody. All right. And then, of course, I want to thank Anima Confusa for joining this show and helping run it. Thank you. Das Wolfen, thanks for being here, Michael Douglas. And Martina Costa Santana, thank you for always being the right side of my brain. Functionally retarded.
Such an asshole.
And then, of course, Joe's Atmosphere. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. It's always nice to see you.
I never can
Always
get
good
in
to
at
see
the
you.
beginning on Mondays because I do my late show on Twitch, but I try to get my breakfast in and get the robe on and get in here.
It doesn't really
For
start
military.
before we're in half an hour, so don't
I know.
worry.
I was watching you guys while I was cooking. I always crank up the TV in the living room and listen to you guys while I'm cooking. So I knew you guys were messing around the first half hour. Yep.
I wasn't messing around.
Well, we all know Gerry likes to derail himself. So, you know.
Yeah.
Because he's always at war with himself. So, yeah, hey, there you go. But yeah, I love being here for Military Monday. You know that. Yeah.
I like military stuff.
Yep.
So, I can't remember his name. The guy that was that did the late show before Craig Ferguson. It was Craig something. I'm forgetting. He also was on the Comedy Central fake news show before
Craig Kilborn.
Craig Kilborn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he invented the thing. I love it. Your moment of zen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your cat needs a moment of zen. Jesus Christ. I just watched her go up a wall.
Right there.
So your moment of zen.
That's good.
Yeah, when I wrote it, it made me chuckle. I tell people all the time, half the shit I say and write is for my own amusement.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just nice that other people find it funny too. I hope everybody has a good Monday, start of the work week. I hope it's great. And we'll see. Well, I won't see you. Well, I might stop in because Keith's birthday stream is tomorrow.
What about 70s show tonight? You going to be there?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
70's going to be doing his. What is it tonight?
Welcome to Alberta.
It's 600 subscribers.
I think.
600 subscribers.
That was like
stream.
That was like 3 years ago for us. 4 years, almost 4 years ago.
I just hit 200. I had my 200 one. John was.
I don't even remember 200.
Yeah. Hey, I
got to tell you though, it is a process, man.
Yep.
We're big.
It's
We're working on 5K.
Yeah, how close are we now? I don't even know where we're at. I really should be watching that.
4.68.
But for all you veterans out there, thank you for your service. Veterans Day is coming up Friday.
Yep.
For those of you that were deployed, welcome home.
Yeah. Pope Metallicus the First is doing a show. I think he's reviewing the book, the original movie, and the remake of All Quiet on the Western Front Friday. I don't want to see this movie because they didn't adapt the book or the film. No.
This is a whole new take on the story. And it's like, look, man.
Well, get on there with him.
There's a reason it's a classic. There's a reason it's a classic. Lou Ayres, who went on, he was an actual conscientious objector in real life, and he got destroyed. It ruined his career. But a lot of people didn't know that he still volunteered to serve in World War II as a combat medic because he was a conscientious objector. And it's one of the reasons I became a combat medic, because I knew that as a conscientious objector, I could still serve.
I give you one of these. My Uncle Paul was a combat medic in Vietnam, and he's got scars all over him. That red plus sign is not the Geneva Convention says not to shoot at him. Bullshit. It's a bullseye for the enemy. I'll tell you what.
It is. I never wore a medical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will tell you this. The only scars I carry are from a kitten. That's it.
And with that, she's out.
Yep.
She knows the story.
Yeah.
So
I've heard it too often.
So
we
do
all
I.
have.
But
We've heard it. Yes.
All I know is that we've got 70 show tonight, and then tomorrow we got Toxic Tuesday, and tomorrow morning we're going to be doing. I don't know if Chris is doing the stream for the birthday stream.
I don't know. It's as far as I don't know when the birthday stream is. Keith didn't tell us.
And
but
I asked Keith.
Chris,
I said, "If it's anything like your P stream, this thing's going to go on forever."
Yeah, Keith just tagged us all on Twitter, but that's all we know.
I have no idea. And everybody's asking me, and I'm like, you know more than me. Keith doesn't talk to me. So
Yeah,
I'll be
but-
talking to him today. We'll figure this shit out.
Chris is
but
supposed
everybody
to
have
his
a good
morning
Monday.
show, so
I hope everybody has a good Monday. And you know what? Fuck Joe.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.